Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Pete.
Could you just kind of speak to what type of game you figure this will be based on watching Michigan State on film or any memories maybe you have from a couple of years ago? Obviously, they're kind of known for being a real grinded-out physical team.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to expect from Michigan State this week. They are a hard-nosed, well-coached football team, and they're going to do a fantastic job of competing and playing hard, and that's exactly what we're going to do as well. So based off of the film and the history of Michigan State football, it's going to be a pretty physical football game, and obviously the guys like me are chomping at the bit for that.
I was just going to take you down that road. Can you kind of express, as a lineman or as a guy that plays up front, do you relish these games a little more?
Absolutely. I mean, it's why you play college football. That's why I play college football. It's a really great opportunity against a really great defensive front, and it's a special thing to be able to compete against Michigan State, especially at 7:30 in Notre Dame Stadium. So it's going to be a fun one for sure, and it's definitely going to be a challenge, and it's exciting.
I don't know how you guys approach this in the sense that it's the same or different than any other game, but nationally, if you guys were to beat a top 10 team, what do you think that would kind of do for the profile of this program in the eyes of the people that watch and vote?
I think it would help our cause. I think just winning football games in general will help our cause in terms of where we want to be in the polls. But I mean, yeah, Michigan State's a talented football team. They're well regarded across the country, and obviously that would definitely help our cause in terms of rankings and all that. But again, that's not what we're focused on. We're focused on just on beating them and then keep moving forward from there.
Curious how you evaluate your game differently as more of a veteran, not only as the returning starter, but the guy who's following Ronnie Stanley, following Zach Martin, and sort of trying to get the standards that they had while they were here.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely been a huge thing for me personally is trying to keep building on my game and all that. It was a challenge at first to try and because I'm not up here playing left tackle to fill the shoes of Ronnie Stanley and Zach Martin, and if I try to do that, it's probably not going to work out for me too well. So those guys were special players, and I'm going to be hopefully a special player in my own right, but I can't focus on the expectations that are put on me because of the first two guys that have been here before me. Obviously, there's an expectation when you're the veteran and a captain that you have to know your job at all times and perform at the highest level, and that's what I'm trying to do each and every week. And it's a matter of focusing on what's important and not those lofty expectations that'll help me exceed them.
How do you evaluate yourself after 2 games?
I thought I've been okay. Not great, but okay. I'm not where I want to be. Obviously, that's the kind of thing that football is. It's always a learning curve, and it's always a game that'll throw you a curveball no matter who you're playing or where you're at, and or no matter how much experience you have. And I've been good, not nearly where I want to be, and just going to keep getting better each and every day and each and every week, and that's all I can do, and that's all that I need to do.
Now that you have some game experience at left from the right side last year, is it really that different? Is it a little bit more different than you would have expected, or about the same, less?
That's about the same. Obviously, there's still some things that I'm working out in my body mechanics, and got to keep working on my technique and fundamentals, and that's a part of football each and every day. I was doing it at right tackle, and I'm going to continue to do it at left as long as I play it. So you can't ever get complacent, because there's going to be days where something gets thrown off at practice, and there's going to be something that happens during a game that gets thrown off. So I have to just keep fine-tuning every little part of the game and every little aspect of fundamentals, technique, and scheme. And there's so much to learn about football, and it's hard to master it, and definitely not there yet, and we'll continue to keep working.
I think it's probably a conversation I've had with every offensive lineman since BJ's been here, whether he thinks Martin was after. It always took a few games for the offensive line to feel like it sort of had everything together with combination blocks and all that. What are some of the things as a lineman you just have to do it in a game
Well, there's things that happen during game days that you get beat, and it's not like practice where somebody's yelling at you or coaching you up on how to do it. You got to figure it out yourself, and you can't focus on getting beat, because if you focus on you got beat the last play, then the next play is probably not going to go the way you want it to either. So that's one thing you're never going to feel out during practice, is how to. I mean, obviously, we do a pretty good job here of putting ourselves in that kind of a situation, and the guy that coaches us definitely does that as well. But it's one of those things that until you actually feel getting beat in front of 81,000 people in your home crowd, you don't have that feeling until you actually step onto the field. And in terms of the offensive line, we're going to continue to work, and we've done some good things, and we've done some things that we didn't like as well. And it's just going to keep growing each and every day of practice, and getting that experience each and every week.
Mike, during your time here, what have you learned about this Notre Dame-Michigan State rivalry, and what does it mean to you?
I mean, it's a huge one. It's, from what I can remember, I mean, I was only here for one other game other than this year, and that was in 2013. That was my true freshman year. And that was we won, I think, 17-13, I think was the score. And it was one of those hard-fought battles, and I think we wound up being their only loss that year after they won the Rose Bowl. So it's a strong rivalry. Obviously, it's one that you get up for. We're really excited to play them. It's going to be a really tough physical football game, and it's two national powers that get to duke it out in the Midwest.
I guess when Coach Kelly says it's Michigan State week, as an offensive lineman, what's going through your mind?
It means you better get yourself ready to start hitting some people. We're going to have to move people off the ball. We're going to have to be on our assignment. They play hard. They bring some pressure, and it's just a classic Michigan State defense, and that's what you. And like I said to Pete over there, it's why you play college football as an offensive lineman, is for a game like this. You know, it's not every week that you get to play against guys that they're not trying to sugarcoat what they're doing. They're going to line up and play, and they're going to see what you got, and that's what's fun about it.
Thanks, Mike.
Kind of in that same vein, I'm guessing Michigan State, what you saw on film, they went pretty vanilla in their first game against Furman. Is there anything you can just look at, given the program that Mark D'Antonio has, the kind of defense they always seem to have, that maybe helps you prepare as opposed to just looking at this one game of film against an FCS team?
I don't think there. I mean, there's film from all last year and years before that everybody we kind of know what Michigan State does, and we'll figure that out as the week goes on of where we need to be and what we're going to be seeing. We're going to have a great game plan because we have great coaches upstairs, and it's up to the players to execute the game plan and see like I said, just see what's in front of you and play ball. And that's the kind of game this is going to be, because it's not, like I said, they're not going to hide anything from us. You know, they're going to line up and see if we can play ball with them, and that's what it's about. And I'm pretty confident that we got the team in our locker room that's capable of holding up to the challenge and giving them a run for their money. We'll see what happens.
I know he's more of an interior guy, but what do you see out of Malik McDowell that makes him a pretty good player?
Well, I mean, he's a physical talent and a freak, and he's very good at getting off blocks and using his length and power to make some offensive linemen have some nightmares about him. And he's going to be a great player, but we got some good offensive linemen up front that are preparing hard this week, and it just comes down to how you execute and use your fundamentals.
Mike, I'm sure that you don't know the whole history of Michigan State Notre Dame, but are you aware of the 66 game?
The 10-10 tie?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Can you imagine playing in a game 1 versus 2, basically deciding national championship, ending in a tie?
No, because that would absolutely drive me insane. Yeah, if it was 1 versus 2 and you tie and the game ends in a tie, I don't know if I'd be able to stomach that one as well. At least give me the feeling of the loss and not what could have been, you know. So that's frustrating. But yeah, actually, we had a story. So George Gedicke, who was an All-American here, offensive lineman back in the '60s, he comes back and came back and told us that story a couple summers ago, and it's just kind of wild to hear the tradition and stuff that we have here and they have up there, that's just so special, and it's why you come to the schools that you come to, is to play in games like this and carry on the legacy that guys like that have set before us, and it's really exciting. I mean, but yeah, 10-10 tie, deciding the national championship would probably get under my skin for quite a while.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
To your right. I was just curious, so one of Deshaun's strengths, obviously, is his composure. And at the end of a game, tight game like the Texas game, for example, what does it do for you guys when you're in the huddle and you see somebody composed, you see his actions on the field as composed?
Well, I think that's what everybody kind of needs to do in order to win a game. Because if you're sitting down there at Texas and you're freaking out in the second overtime, you're probably not going to be able to execute your job or use your technique of what the coaches teach you to accomplish the goal that you really want. So if you start focusing on things that are outside of your control or things that really aren't going to help you do what you need to do on that specific play, it's probably going to cost you. So it definitely helps us in a big way to see the guy who's at our helm just acting like it's another play. And that's exactly what you need to do in this game. And it's exactly what we all need to do as a team is buckle down, get back to basics, and then focus on our specific job for that play and not the outcome of the game. Because if you worry about that, there's a good shot you don't get it done.
In last year's on offense, you guys had a lot of local veterans, Ronnie, Nick. Has his leadership style changed at all, evolved at all over the past year now that he's one of the more experienced guys?
I don't think so, and I think that's a good thing. I think that he's done a very good job of being the same guy that he was, and I think that's what makes him a great leader, is because he doesn't change because he's the big guy on campus. He's got the starting quarterback. He's had God knows how many touchdowns already this season, and that's a testament to his character about how composed and normal he stays, and that's a part of what makes a great leader is being that same guy, that consistent guy every single day, and that's what Deshaun has done a fantastic job of since he took over last year.
Thanks.
We good? All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.